So we use visual analogies as diagrams to show a literal or abstract meaning. Okay, they can be charts, they can be dots, they can be lines, they can be polylines, they can be pictures, colors, all kinds of things. But once you understand the basics of what they're going for, you're in a safer place. Okay, you're going to understand when maybe companies are trying to persuade you to buy something. Okay, you're going to be able to create meaning through elements. Okay, so I have a PDF here that I want to show you. All right, so right here we have a visual analogy. Okay, so take a good look at this visual analogy we have here. See if I can zoom in on it a wee bit. There we go. Okay, what do you think is going on? What do you think the analogy is trying to be? What does this stand for?
Suddenly have an idea or something?
That's exactly right. Somebody has an idea. Good. This next one here, any ideas? Joanna, we'll let you think.
They have a helmet as their head.
They have a helmet as their head. Good. That's pretty literal. What do you notice about the helmet?
Like extra protection, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like
anything
it
else?
looks cool. Like I feel like it looks cooler.
It looks cooler. Okay.
Or weirder. Whichever.
I don't really know.
Okay, I'm going to give you another hint. I'm going to uncrop the image. Now tell me what you think. It says an open buckle helmet isn't a helmet.
Oh.
What do you take from there?
It's like showing
Joanna,
that...
go ahead.
They're not using their helmet the right way. So kind of like they're like not thinking all the way.
Okay. Lucas? It's a good guess. Lucas?
I feel like if you don't secure your buckles on the helmet, it's the same as your head.
Yeah, I think that's the point that they're going for, a good combo between both of what you're saying. So it's looking at how, if you're not going to buckle up your helmet, it's just as good as not wearing one at all. So Joanna's right to say that it looks like this isn't complete. It looks like they're not finished what they're doing. And Lucas, you're right to say that it's that issue with the buckle. So sometimes in our visual analogies, we do need that little bit of text at the bottom to give us a wee bit more understanding of what's going on. An open buckle helmet isn't a helmet. It's not doing its job. This will fly off and you can still crack your head open, right? All right, this one here, what do you think? This is from the World Wildlife Foundation. So it's a Jenga game.
I feel like it's going to tell us it's like we're playing like a Jenga game, like with the animal species being the pieces, and it might fall at any second and just break everything.
Okay, good. Joanna, anything?
Maybe like the food chain, when like one thing goes extinct, it like hurts the other stuff.
That's exactly right. That's great. So what this one is trying to show is a great combination of what you've both said. If we take one animal out of our food chain, if one animal goes extinct, everything crumbles, right? And this is a really neat analogy. Of these three analogies, we have the light bulb, we have the gentleman with the helmet, and we have the Jenga of animals, which one do you folks think is the most effective? No right or wrong answer.
I think the first one's the best, like most
Okay,
influential.
why?
Because the graphic is simple and it's very everyday like.
Okay.
So you might understand it a little bit more.
Great.
And simple.
Joanna?
I think like the first one too, because it's like ideal. I've like seen it a lot.
So it's easier for you to understand. Okay, cool. So those are some examples of some visual analogies. Okay. Now, analogies are a good way of explaining something. You have to be careful though when it comes to these analogies. Okay. So you have to be careful when someone is using an analogy to try to convince you of something, because there may be important differences between two things being compared. For instance, it can be useful to explain how our memory works by comparing it to computer memory. But because the two kinds of memory are actually very different, you wouldn't want to base an argument on that analogy. For instance, it's easy to increase the amount of memory a computer has by adding chips, but you can't do that by adding chips into your brain. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a video. And this video is called Information Once It's Out There. And it's a visual analogy. And then what I'm going to have you guys do is have you discuss what you think the video is saying and how it's saying it. Okay? I'm looking for a connection between the video and what we've just talked about when we're looking at digital literacy. Okay? Ask yourself questions like, what does toothpaste have to do with information? What might the person be trying to do? Okay, and I'm going to show you that video now.